Hey, what's up, everybody? DJ Anthony here. It is Wellness Week Live. Hey, listen, I'm not giving any medical, legal, or financial advice, but is the American dream still attainable? On today's episode of Wellness Week Live. So, where the heck was I? I was either listening to or reading an article. I don't even know. I was reading an article, I think. Maybe I was listening to a news segment. But they were saying, is the American, quote unquote, the American dream still attainable for most people? What do you think? Go ahead, say it. Listening to me, do you think that the American dream is still attainable for most Americans? First, we have to define what is the American dream. Generally speaking, typically, the American dream means somebody said that it is, owning a home, having 2.5 kids, go on vacation once a year, and make $100,000 or about that. So that's the American dream. So, I always ask myself, who the hell puts this out there? Who's the arbiter of what the American dream is? I mean, so do you think, I don't know. I think, I hear a lot of people, and I have friends and people that I know that often say, "Oh, the American dream is unattainable." And but I say, like, first off, you have to define the American dream for yourself. Don't listen to somebody else's version or definition of the American dream, because then you're going to be miserable. And I would say none of us. I mean, so is the American dream attainable if we're going by that standard of whoever the heck put that standard out? I don't know. I mean, you have to, again, ask yourself, is that something that you want? Is that, so I would say this, and to drill down on it, I think the underpinning is making $100,000 a year, because everything comes down to money. Because the house is money, having kids is money, vacation is money, everything's money. So can someone live on, or I don't know, I guess, can a family live on $100,000 a year? Or can someone live on $100,000 a year? And I think that, so is $100,000 a year enough? And my answer to that is, it all depends. If you are a single person living, in a one-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment, not in New York City, anywhere but, and you make 100,000, you're by yourself, you don't have to take care, you don't have any dependents, you have no obligations, just yourself, then yes, $100,000 is, you're doing good, so that's that. And you may say, well, that's not me. Well, that's millions of Americans, though, that are by themselves and they make 100. So, I mean, if you're, again, single person, no dependents, no obligations, just yourself, you got car payment, maybe you have your rent, your food, presumably you have a job and you have your benefits, you're good to go. You're doing good. But yeah, if you have 2 kids, rent, mortgage, whatever, and the whole household income is 100,000. Now it's getting difficult. Basically, the more kids or dependents you have, then you're going to need to make more money. So if you're making 100,000, you and your spouse or partner, and you have 1 kid, but you got to take care of the grandparents or the parents of your spouse and yourself. So now you got really 5 kids, plus mommy and daddy, or mommy and mommy, or daddy and daddy, your partners. So then you have 7 people for 100,000. You got a problem. So it all depends on the dependence. And I would make the argument. I know people who make 500,000 a year, but live paycheck to paycheck, because they have 11 kids. They have 3 cars. They have, the big house. They got to take care of their extended family also. So you can see 500,000 ain't shit. Again, it's all context, dependence, context, dependence, context. So, and I know people who make literally like 50,000 a year, and they have no debt, no problems, no nothing, they're good to go. They got a nice little life because they only take care of themselves. So, I don't know. It all depends, or if you and your partner both make 50,000 a year or 70,000 a year, now you're making 140,000 as two people and you got full benefits, you have pensions, you have a job where you're unionized and what do you call it? Um, your union and you are a what is the word I'm looking for? Not vested, but vested's part of it. But yeah, so your union and you have protections for your employment, full pension benefits, and together you bring in 140,000, and it's only you and your spouse. You, you're kicking butt. But if you got seven kids, you ain't kicking butt. Or if you have other problems like health problems or stuff like that, then you ain't kicking butt. So it really it there's it spans the gamut. It's really hard to say, is $100,000 cannot give you the American dream. I mean, for many it can, for many it can't. It all depends on the type of job you have, how many dependents you have, what your lifestyle is like. If you want to go on European vacations 3 times a year, you know what I mean? So, and you got fancy taste, caviar taste, then, you're going to be in debt a lot. It's not going to work out. So, yeah, I mean, I know people that $1 million a year they're living paycheck to paycheck on 1 million a year. No shit, no joke. So it really depends. But the American dream is the house. And it also depends on, just because you don't have a house doesn't mean you're not doing well. I know people who don't own a home. They don't want to own a home, and they're balling. They're doing great. I know people who have the home with the white picket fence and the green lawn, and they live paycheck to paycheck. So again, the American dream is what you want it to be. Don't listen to somebody else. Don't listen to someone say, "Oh, you got to have a house to have the American dream." Who said that? Who said that? So maybe you do want a house. Maybe you don't. Whatever. Maybe you want a mansion. Maybe you just want a studio apartment. It all depends on. Yeah. So I think we get ourselves into problems though. Like, America's not the country that's gonna be there for you if shit goes down. Like, other countries are better with their social safety nets, but not America for the most part. I mean, obviously, yeah, if you're at the extremes, if you're piss poor, then everything's paid for you. Or if you're a billionaire, you're good, everything's paid for you. But middle class, it's shades of gray, it's marbled, it's spectrum, it's, I don't know, maybe, but generally speaking, yeah, America's not the place where you're going to be, there's not much safety net. So you have to be very careful, how many kids you have. You have to be very careful how many vacations you go on. You have to be very careful, kind of car you buy. You have to be very careful, and a lot of it's common sense. But I think that the American dream is attainable. Your dream, not my dream, not the person across the street's dream, your dream. Don't succumb to the commercials and what media tells you. You have to have a house and you have to have 2.5 kids and you have to have a college degree and you have to make 100,000 a year, 200,000 a year, 300,000 a year. Your dream is what? I think your dream should be healthy. You have friends and family. You have a roof over your head. That's it. You're good. Whether it's an apartment or a condo or a mansion or, you know, you don't, that's it. That's all. If you go on vacation, cool. If you don't, cool. If you drive a Ferrari, cool. If you don't drive a Ferrari, cool. You know, what? If you have your bills paid for and a little extra left for, retirement, I would say you're living the American dream. Again, but I think we get sold this bill of goods. Well, if you don't go to Disney, you're a piece of shit. You're a loser. Or whatever, right? If you don't go on vacation, if you don't have the latest leased car, if you don't have the newest shoes, if you don't have the latest iPhone, if you don't have the big television, if you're not hanging out with the boys, drinking the girls, going out, then you don't have the American dream. You don't have a house. You don't have the American dream. Oh my God, the house. Stop. I mean, it's yeah. So that's that. Did I answer the question? I don't know. But yeah, if you have your health, your family, your friends, you have a job, and you have a little extra left over for retirement, emergencies, and of course, if you have you get your health. I mean, slash healthcare, you're good to go. I mean, I would say you're living the friggin' best dream on earth. You know, so you don't need the vacation, you don't need the fancy shoes. If you have those basics, you're winning. And if you have extra, buy the fancy crap, the latest car, the latest phone, the latest television, 2 vacations a year, a vacation a year. Cool. That God bless, but the American dream is what you say it is, not what I say it is, not what some economist says it is. So, anyways, I wish you well. I wish you health and happiness. Go out there, kick some butt, have some fun, and hey, let's be grateful for what we do have too. By the way, because um, I was just telling somebody we have a lot in America, even though we're not the best with the social safety, nets. Um, there are hundreds of millions, yes, hundreds of millions of people in this world who would love to trade places with you because they don't have clean water. They don't have a roof over their head. They have no food. They will die tonight. Yeah, that's hundreds of millions of people. So you're doing better. You have privilege because you live in America. So you have a lot to be grateful for. So let's be grateful. All right. Hey, I'm out of here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.